Today's internet question is, are all grasses the same? No. The answer is no, they are not. The longer answer is that there are all kinds of different types of grasses, different species of grasses. There are warm season grasses that do well in the south. There are cool season grasses that do well in the north. Here in Iowa, at our farm, we grow Kentucky bluegrass, which is a cool season grass. It can survive sub-zero winters, and it thrives all the way up to about 85 degrees Fahrenheit when it starts to kind of go into a mild dormancy at that point. We really like that Kentucky bluegrass has a couple of different abilities that make it unique. The main one that I think is super special about this species is that it spreads by rhizomes, the way that like strawberries spread by rhizomes. So it sends out what some people call runners, if that makes sense. So if you're feeding it properly, it'll send out these runners to help propagate itself, fill in damaged areas, be able to rejuvenate itself after like winter damage or dog damage, things like that. It really is kind of unique in its ability to do that, which is really cool. Within the species of Kentucky bluegrass, there are 350, some say up to 400 different cultivars of Kentucky bluegrass. So if you think of like dogs are a species, and within the species of dogs, there are breeds of dogs that all have different characteristics. So for example, Great Danes and Chihuahuas and Golden Retrievers. And yes, they're all dogs, but they all look and behave differently and have their little quirks. Kentucky bluegrass is the same way. So you have all these different cultivars that have their little quirks. The ones that we grow here are what are called dwarf varieties. That means that they grow very slowly, which means you don't have to mow as often, which is like super nice. I'll even say that for myself as a homeowner who has our sod on my property. It is nice that I don't have to mow as often as my neighbors, but my yard still looks super nice. There are also compact growing types, which means that they grow very close together and outcompete a lot of weed pressure just kind of naturally, which is great. We also grow really dark color, like genetically dark cultivars, which means I don't have to fertilize as often to have that nice dark lush color that a lot of people are excited about. And they're also disease and drought resistant varieties. We spend a lot of time being very intentional and specific about which cultivars we grow here. We spend a lot of time looking at what's called the NTEP trials, and that gives us a lot of information about what we might be interested in. And then we actually bring those cultivars here and do test plots here on our farm. Those test plots are something we look at for several years, and we really put them through their paces and make sure that things behave the way we want. And then if we really like something, then we will mix it here and put it into sod form, and also sell it for seed form for people who want to do seed projects or do some small repairs. So to answer the question succinctly, no, not all grasses are the same. Ours is great.